My name is Abigail Niemeyer, and today I'm going to be talking about Mount Rushmore. This is by four of my audiences, along with the person who is recording my video for me. Do you know why Mount Rushmore was created? Gustav Borglum, the sculptor behind Mount Rushmore, said that he wanted to memorialize for the ages a tiny bit of America's greatness by carving four of her leaders who contributed to that greatness. Mount Rushmore is an important national monument that Americans should know about. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln were chosen as the four faces of Mount Rushmore, as together they represent the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the United States. I have visited Mount Rushmore and read articles written about Mount Rushmore. First, I will give some history of Mount Rushmore. Second, I will talk about each of the four presidents. Finally, I will summarize why the reasons these four presidents were chosen. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln were chosen as the four faces of Mount Rushmore, and together they represent the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the United States. Gustav Borglum, the sculptor who helped create Mount Rushmore, had a vision of who wanted to be represented there. John Thune stated in the 1970 issue of South Dakota Mount Rushmore National Memorial that the inspiration for carving on Mount Rushmore came from Joanne Robinson. Robinson originally favored a carving representing Western figures. Borglum was opposed to the idea of carving Western figures, saying that it should be a national monument commemorating America's founders. The Black Hills in South Dakota were chosen as the location for Mount Rushmore. Borglum stated in his Building Mount Rushmore 1926 report that he made 4 visits to the Black Hills before choosing a location based on its unique granite and the very important visibility and public approach. Now that I've given some history on Mount Rushmore, I will next talk about the 4 presidents chosen. Thune, as previously cited, wrote that Borglum wanted these 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore because they best exemplified the foundation, expansion, and preservation of the Republic. In his speech at Mount Rushmore, given on August 10, 1927, Calvin Coolidge stated that George Washington is considered the beginning of the birth of the United States. Washington represents our independence, our Constitution, and our liberty. He stands as an inspired vision for Americans. Coolidge continued his speech, noting that Thomas Jefferson was known for the growth and expansion of the United States through the Louisiana Purchase. Jefferson's wisdom ensured that the government that Washington had formed would be a self-governing administration. Coolidge adds that Theodore Roosevelt was known for being most connected to the whole nation. He strove to add economic freedom to political freedom in the developing nation. By building the Panama Canal, he connected the East to the West, and he realized the vision that inspired Columbus in his search for the new passage to the Orient. Finally, Coolidge concludes that Abraham Lincoln demonstrated love for his fellow countrymen. He is considered the preserver and recreator of the Union upon a new and sounder foundation. Lincoln extended the principle of freedom to all the inhabitants of our land. Now that I have provided some information about each of the 4 presidents, I will summarize why each was chosen. According to the National Park Service and NPS.gov, accessed on March 29, 2024, these 4 presidents were chosen because they represented some of America's most important events. The National Park Service 2024 stated that these presidents remind visitors of the political, social, and cultural histories of the past. George Washington was the father of a new country. Thomas Jefferson was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. Theodore Roosevelt provided leadership when America experienced rapid economic growth. Abraham Lincoln held the Union together during his greatest trial, the Civil War. Together, these presidents represent the first 150 years of the nation's history. Coolidge, 1927, said that the fundamental principles these 4 figures stood for are the basis of our country. Today, I first discussed the history behind Mount Rushmore. Second, I discussed the 4 presidents represented on Mount Rushmore. Finally, I discussed the reason these 4 presidents were chosen. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt were chosen as the 4 faces of Mount Rushmore, as together they represent the birth, the growth, development, and the preservation of the United States. In conclusion, Mount Rushmore is an important monument that represents our nation's history. The 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore were carefully selected and are there to remind visitors of the struggles and triumphs America faced as it became a country. Guts on Board Club 1926 concludes that these 4 presidents memorialized the spirit which conceived, built, preserved, and understood the needs of this country. Thank you.